everybody. So we are so excited. We are here for the next episode of the Hallmarkies podcast, and we're here to talk about the latest weekend of holiday films from Hallmark. I'm Rachel, and Amber's here, and we're here to talk about them.
Hi, everybody.
I think personally, Amber, I think that these last week we maybe had the worst block that we've covered. And we said that there'd have to be some redemption for last weekend. Well, I think that they did. I think this is maybe the strongest block of movies that we've covered. No?
Yeah, this week is amazing. I was so a little bit not looking forward to a couple of them, but they were all good. I'm pretty sure I cried in every single one.
And I think that almost any other weekend, any of these could have won been the best of the weekend. But since they're all four, they all made my top 15 in my ranking. So,
and I think you're going to see this. I think some of their numbers are slower than they might have been because they suffered by comparison.
Yeah.
But that's just how the rankings go sometimes, guys. Blame Hallmark scheduling.
It's a dog-eat-dog world on Hallmark sometimes, huh? We're going to talk about is Coming Home for Christmas. And we were pretty pumped about this because of our interview with Nina Weinman that we did on Friday. And we weren't going to give any special treatment, of course, but we just really enjoyed talking to her. And she gave us some insight into what the film was going to be about that we wouldn't have known from just the description. And so I think that certainly made me more excited.
Yeah, it definitely hyped me up on the movie. I mean, when we had initially done our stocking preview, you gave it an orange. You had more faith in it, and I gave it a sock, which is scathing.
Remember that, Nina?
but honestly, once Nina was like, it's kind of like a modern version of Sabrina in some sort of a way, and and then I was like, oh yes, tell me more. I'm in. So I had a much better attitude going into it than we had during the preview.
Yeah.
You guys should listen to that podcast. It was crazy interesting. If you haven't listened to it yet.
It was really fun. I love talking to writers, and it was really cool to hear about how she came up with ideas and the process of writing a Hallmark movie. And she's just super cool. We're definitely going to have her on the podcast more if we can.
And we will put a link in the description to that podcast if you haven't watched it yet.
The other exciting news that we have from this weekend is we got our 1,000th listen yesterday on iTunes and SoundCloud. So that was pretty exciting. So
what can I say? 1,000 people have heard us.
And we're just pretty popular, so that's exciting. But thank you. Thank you for liking, subscribing, listening, wherever you listen, whether it's YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, whatever it might be. Please spread the word. And so, all right. So this film, basically, it's kind of like the movie Sabrina. And you have Danica McKellar as Lizzie, and she is hired by this state to come and basically plan the last gala, the Christmas gala, before they sell the house. There's two brothers. There's a grandma character crotchety old grandma character that doesn't want to sell the house. And of course, like anybody would be with Danica McKellar, the two brothers are very smitten with her. And
naturally.
Yes. And Danica McKellar, of course, is one in the contention for Queen of Hallmark.
She is.
Roles. This is her sixth Hallmark movie by my count. So.
And that is her sixth Hallmark movie as the star.
Right.
Danica McKellar didn't have to pay her dues as the best friend.
True. Good point.
Winnie Cooper gets to be the lead.
And she's in one of my favorites, Crown for Christmas. Brothers, you have the more wild and crazy brother, named Kip, Marley, played by Andrew Francis, who we love.
We love Andrew Francis.
Yes.
I'm going to be completely honest right now and say that the minute Nina Weinman said, and Andrew Francis is in it, and I was like, well, I'm in.
Yes.
He was
Agreed.
like, I don't know why marketing. Okay. He's literally one of the stars of one of their main shows, and they just like buried him in the previews. I don't understand Hallmark doing that. They're crazy.
Agreed. And he's like so active on Twitter and just such like an involved person in the community. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't use that to your advantage. And yeah, we would like to see him be the lead in one of these movies. We need to get on that. Nina agreed. So hopefully she's writing one that he can star in.
Also, remember when Andrew Francis was also like a hidden character in Engaging Father Christmas? Yeah. What is this? Yeah. Like secret Andrew Francis year? I don't get it.
No, I don't know.
If he shows up in another movie, just like, surprise, I'm Andrew Francis, I will die. Yeah. It will be too funny.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in 2 series and 7 movies, including one of my favorites, my favorite. He's in Trading Christmas.
Yeah. He's paid his dues. I mean, he was technically, like the main guy in Mr. Miracle.
Oh, yeah?
I haven't seen that one. Let's get him. He deserves a big one with where they're not like, by the person who wrote Mrs. Miracle. One where they're like, starring Chesapeake Shores, Andrew Francis.
Yes.
That's the one I want, where he gets top billing.
Another named Robert Marley is played by Neil Bledsoe, and I believe this is his Hallmark debut.
I believe it is also his Hallmark debut. He is very lovely.
Yeah. And the poster did him no justice. We talked about that with Nina.
The poster did not do him any favors, as you said. And taking some screencasts of him where he wasn't making a funny face was a little bit of a challenge, you guys. But it didn't like, he wasn't like weird when you were watching it. It was just like, he suffers from, I guess, Amber face, where he's like, all the time. That's me. But in a nice, like, oh, look how, like that. Like, as soon as you try to take a picture, you're like, that's me.
Yeah.
Anyway, for those of you out listening to the audio, I made a bad face.
Yeah, some people don't screenshot as well as others. I mean, I like Andrew Francis so well, and I did think that, did you think that Danica had a better chemistry with one or the other, or it was about the same, or it worked, or how did you feel about chemistry?
Chemistry-wise, I feel like it was fine between the two of them. I didn't see any issues or anything.
Like both of the brothers.
And can I just say, I am absolutely obsessed, and I love Shalane Simmons, the girl who played the sister Sloane in this movie. She is always like the kind of rich girl who's most of the time a little bit snotty. And she was in Wonder Falls, which was one of my favorite movie series of all times. It's like, Canadian kind of show.
Yeah.
And she is just so great. The minute she showed up on screen, I was ecstatic. So, I mean, great casting. Good, you guys. Good job. We got to mention Paula Shaw, who plays Grandmother Pippa. She's great.
Yeah, she was a lot of fun.
So, the woman who plays her mother, she's played by someone named Rebecca Staub. And she is in a movie called Love Potion No. 9. Which you may or may not remember. She's in the two bar scenes, and Tate Donovan?
Yeah, I think so. Tate Donovan.
Anyway, Tate Donovan. He tries to pick her up, and it is so funny. And so every time I see her on any of these Hallmark movies, I just think of that part, and it just kills me every time.
How do you feel about sort of the movie in general? Had the story and what was your overall sort of take on it?
I really liked it. I thought there were some moments of really good humor in it. It was quite funny. Danica McKellar was so funny when she was doing all of her like, oh, I don't know, oh my goodness, oh, it's awkward. Like their awkward chemistry when they're like, oh, I didn't mean to say that, oopsie doopsie doopsie, which is just exactly my humor, was so good. It was so funny to me.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed like the bits of humor, and the romance and stuff was good. I get really irritated when they are just like, oh no, I refuse to sit back and listen. They just leave. I hate that part. Like when he did at the end, you know.
Oh, you mean when he overheard them? He eavesdropped?
Yeah, eavesdropper.
Right.
Like, isn't there some sort of phrase that's like, if you eavesdrop, you're bound to hear something you don't want to hear or something?
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really sweet. I think that Danica McKellar is great when she's like being sincere. I don't know, it just always feels like it's coming from the heart, and like it always feels like she's just about to like well up into tears, and I don't know, she's just very, very sweet, and I think it works for her. It comes off authentic, and I think all four of these movies really came off authentically emotional to me, authentically true, and so it worked for me. I enjoyed it. I guess if I was going to have a little nitpick, it'd just be that I kind of wish this could be like a feature as opposed to, the length needed for television, just because I feel like the ending and like him sort of softening happened really fast, and that, I don't know, I would have just loved to have kind of had a little bit more time for him to sort of change, and I don't know, it just felt a little rushed, I would say, the last act a little bit, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was solid.
Yeah, I agree.
So, crowns would you give Coming Home for Christmas?
So I actually gave it 4.25 crowns, which is pretty darn high, you guys.
Yeah.
That is really high.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I gave it 4 crowns. So basically, because I don't do the half-seas like you do. Basically the same. So I gave it 4 crowns. Really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. So I've seen 48 Hallmark movies. And so I have Coming Home for Christmas at number 12. So pretty high.
Pretty high.
I have it just after The Perfect Catch at 11 and Harvest Wedding at 13. And I'll explain a little bit more about that in a second. Next up, this is on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. We had Christmas Homecoming. And this starred Julie Benz, who's been in 2 Hallmark movies, and I thought she had been in more, but I couldn't find any more. And Uncorked and Charming Christmas, and Michael Shanks, who is in one called The Christmas Lodge that I could find. So this movie, I feel like this movie is not for the cynical.
I know, it was a bad movie for me.
Oh, really?
No, it was fine.
But I don't know. I just connected with it. I thought that, and I think it's really partly to the chemistry and the acting, because I felt like particularly the scenes about her and her grief, I don't know, and just like her healing and stuff, I just thought felt really emotionally true and really authentic. And particularly like things about her trying to get rid of his clothes, like that felt very emotionally true to me. I've only lost my grandpa and 2 of my cousins, but I've been around people that have had to lose loved ones like that, and that felt very similar to some of their experience. And I don't know, I just thought it was soft. I thought it was, it was, even the soundtrack I thought was pretty like kind of gentle, if that makes sense. And I don't know, I just really liked it. I really connected with it. And so, I don't know, she plays this military widow who rents this apartment to this soldier who's injured. And so they both have their, it says in the summary, they're wounded, this 2 wounded warriors, I think is what it says. And so they become friends. They're trying to plan this event. And he gets a fundraising event, and she gets him kind of involved because he's really good and very confident, and he kind of encourages her to be more confident. and a wounded birds. That's what it says in the summary. These 2 wounded birds. And I also liked that they didn't give her some like mop top kid, that it was just like 2 adults. I kind of thought that was cool. And anyway, I really enjoyed it. What did you think?
So initially, when we were doing our stocking ratings, we both had given this a diamond ring.
Yeah.
I believe it was the first time we agreed entirely on a diamond ring set.
Yes.
So that was a big deal. I loved pretty much everything about it, but unforgivably, they had Craig in this movie.
Who's Craig?
Who's Craig? Craig is her impossibly nice, understanding, good guy who's like her friend from 9th grade, who stood by her and was a very great option for her to have a relationship with. And they didn't give us an alternative for him, so he's just left alone and super sad at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, like everything else you said I agree with, but they added Craig, and I feel like he was unnecessary, and he's just sad. And you're like, sure, that happens in real life. And I'm like, hello, this is a Hallmark movie. We can give Craig a person in the epilogue. Like, a year had passed. Couldn't Craig have been there at that party with a woman that he loved now? I'm just asking for Craig's sake.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess I don't tend to get as emotionally invested in the side characters as you do.
You know, the side characters and I, we start book clubs together in my mind. We're best friends. While they're off camera, you guys think that they're just like, they don't exist. But like when they're off camera, I'm like, what are they doing? What's going on? When I was doing the Twitter of this, like 80% of my tweets were like, looks like everybody's as confused about Craig and her relationship as I am. Because it started out when they were like having this cute dinner, and I was like, does she have a boyfriend? And he was like, you want to go on a real date? And she was like, wait, real dates? And I was like, what is going on here?
Because she was still wearing her wedding ring at that point. Like,
I know. And he was like so understanding. He wasn't like trying to pressure her into anything. And I'm not saying that like that means that they have to be in love. I'm just saying, like, he was so nice. There was nothing wrong with him. She doesn't have to end up with him because she belongs with this other guy who helped heal her heart. But like, he was the Mike character from Twilight. Like, he deserves a person. Just because he's not Jacob or Edward doesn't mean he doesn't get a person.
Fair enough. I guess I'm cold to side characters. I didn't care about that at all. That didn't matter at all.
It was like a big thing for me.
That, I don't know, I just felt like the movie took its time, and, you know, they don't, like, get engaged until he comes back. You must have liked that in an epilogue, basically.
Yeah, the epilogue bumped it back up. It was like, Craig, and then it was like, epilogue, and then it was like, Craig's not in the epilogue.
Yeah.
So it was like,
but I think my favorite part was just that whole thing with the clothes. That just, to me, that made me cry, I'll be honest. And I just thought that felt very emotionally true. Like, I knew somebody on my mission that their husband had passed away, and she hadn't moved his jacket from the like peg where he had left it. And I don't know, I can't remember how long it had been. And, you know, it's just tough.
Yeah. I was watching this with my friend Anne, and she, when she was listening to the recording on the voicemail, and looked to me and she said, would you ever delete that? And I said, absolutely not. And I would make like 1 million copies and update it as soon as technology became more updated. So I would always have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if I moved on to a point, whatever, I would always keep a copy of that.
Yeah, even if you kind of stowed it away.
Yeah.
What do you think of this idea that they didn't give her a kid? I feel like that would have made the whole thing sort of more maudlin. And I don't know. I feel like
not everyone has kids.
No, I know. I appreciated that. I appreciated the fact that it could just be her and we could just focus on her story. And because I feel like in a lot of these kind of stories, they would give her sort of an adorable mop top kid, you know, whatever. And
yeah,
I liked the fact that it was just was just about her. And I thought that was really good.
They didn't need it. And so because they didn't have to show him bonding with the kid, they were able to spend more time together.
Yeah, agreed.
In the garage working on the motorcycle, like Twilight.
Yeah, so I also give this 4 crowns, but I have it higher than Coming Home for Christmas in the ranking, because I tend to have these rankings.
It's like a high 4 for you.
Yeah, high 4. Because I tend to have like groups where they're basically, I like them the same. So it's splitting hairs. I actually have this in my ranking at number 9. Really liked it. I just did. I connected with it. So I have it. I have The Birthday Wish at 8, and I have Daro and Daro at 10. So there you go.
Okay, and then I gave this 3.9 crowns. Essentially the same.
Yeah, exactly.
But like I said, some Craig deductions there, you guys.
Okay. Well,
to all the
that's
Hallmark
pretty
writers
good.
and producers and directors, mind your secondary characters. You care about them. You care about your crowns. You care about them.
Well, that's a pretty high score for you for like one of these kind of more tearjerker ones.
Like I said, I'm fine with crying if we're done crying at the end.
Yeah.
And we can cry at the end if they're happy tears.
Uh-huh.
But we don't cry at the end because it's sad. And people are just dead. People are just sad about it.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's the surest fire way to get no stars.
Well, I don't have a problem with a sad ending like you, but this was really well done. We're going to talk about A Gift to Remember. And this was sort of our While You Were Sleeping sort of story, kind of. And we got a Sabrina story. We got a While You Were Sleeping sort of story. And this was really cute because it was about a girl who is a huge reader, but she's like doesn't have a ton of confidence, and to ask to be the manager, I guess, basically of this bookstore, this cute little bookstore. And one day she crashes into this guy played by Peter Porte, who ends up getting amnesia. So I like that, right? And
okay, I'm pausing you I was listening to our stalking podcast, and like my review, my preview of this was Peter Porte is so handsome, and fact, it's true still.
Yes,
as prescribed in the preview, Peter Porte is a handsome man.
Agreed. He is very handsome. There's no doubt about it.
And like, he's not just handsome and then that's it. Like, he's handsome and then he does a good job and is charming and is funny.
Right.
Shut up.
Let's give it in our preview.
Oh, our stalking ratings?
Yeah.
Our stalking ratings were an orange and an orange. We both were pretty sure it would be fine, but we weren't like super excited.
Yeah, we didn't have a ton to go off of, I remember. We didn't have much.
We were like, he's in a coma. And I think it would have been higher if we hadn't been so burned by
Falling for Vermont.
Coma. Whatever, yeah, Falling for Vermont.
Yeah. Adorable. And she's
gosh.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about Allie Liebert. I love her. And I was so mad when she was off Chesapeake Shores. You guys, listen to our Chesapeake Shores podcast and you'll know.
Yeah.
I love her. And she is so cute. She's in also the fall harvest one, the wine one, but the first one, Summer in the Vineyard.
Oh, is she? I didn't see that on
Summer
her
in the
list.
Vineyard as her friend who dated. I know, she's in it.
Yeah, she was also, she's in Anything for Love, I Do, Ring by Spring also, along with Andrew Francis. They must have small parts in that because I don't remember them. But anyway, they're in it. And I don't know. They were really cute. I really liked her a lot. And
their chemistry was so great.
Yes. So good. And, it was just really cool because she's putting aside all of this time to help him to get his memories back because she feels bad because she crashed into him. So
I mean, she feels bad because she crashed into him, and also
it's Peter
I've seen Peter Porte. But honestly, from the minute she finds that ring, I think she's just doing it like she thinks that there will be an end. Like, you know what I mean? She's not doing it just to try to get a husband or boyfriend.
No, not at all. I don't think.
The fact that she tries to find the girl.
That
she's not
she goes to the ballet company, and I don't think that she had like much of an intention or much of a thought of getting with him, because I don't think she had that confidence at the beginning. So it worked to me to believe her, just trying to be nice, trying to help. And, they bond over, over books and over, he helps her to get the confidence to ask to be the manager. And I don't know, it's just really cute. I really enjoyed it. And I really liked her landlord, right? Is that the...
Oh, yeah. Her landlord lady is the best. Mrs. Hay something.
Yeah. Tina Lifford, I think is her name, or Lyford.
Yeah, but in the show, her name was like Mrs.
Hay something like that.
And
she
Luigi,
was great.
Come on. Even you paid attention to Luigi, right?
Which one is he?
What? Are you kidding me with this right now? You weren't obsessed.
Was he in the books? Was he in the bookstore?
No, that was Josh. The guy who owns the Italian restaurant, who fixes up her bike, who ends up dating what's-her-face, his landlady.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
he was fun.
My goodness, fun. Rachel. You're missing like 3/4 of the movie.
It's true. I need to do better. Terrible.
But I was really excited about Luigi and Mrs. Hay something.
Clearly.
It was like the minute they met and she was like, hello. And he was like, hello. I was like, yay! And then at the end, they go on their cute little date to the ballet. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. They were really cute. I really liked Tina Lifford. I thought she was really good. I encourage Hallmark to use her again. I thought she was great.
And her friends at the bookstore were great.
Yeah.
They were funny.
They were really cute.
You guys.
It just built momentum really well. I felt like it was paced really well. I don't know, just really, it was it was not maybe quite at Miss Christmas for me, but it was getting close. It was getting in that discussion. How many crowns would you give A Gift to Remember?
I gave it 4.6 crowns.
Give A Gift to Remember 4.5 crowns.
See, we're basically the same. 4.6, 4.5. That's like nothing.
Yeah. So I have this very high. I have it at number 6. So I have it just after Eat, Play, Love at 5 and Moonlight in Vermont at 7.
Moonlight in Vermont. Okay, sorry. It was real good.
Yeah, it's a 7. That's really high.
It is really high, and it deserves it.
Yeah, agreed. That's why I have it.
Okay,
7.
Wait. We got to talk about Grown Up Christmas Wish playing as they and the sweeping camera. I was like, oh, I got goosebumps all over my arms. I started to cry. So beautiful. This one made me cry at the end because it was so beautiful.
It was really, really good. Very good. Was a little bit more grown inducing as far as the core story. And I think they actually made it better for this movie. So that was cool. And basically, like, it's a story about a man who finds out that his father, who is estranged from, finds out that he, before he died, gave this woman who was his nurse $100,000. And so he goes and he gave her this, like, Christmas vacation at this Bramble House Inn. And which is in like Colorado or someplace like that. I can't remember. Do you remember? But anyway, someplace
the town's
like
called Bramble.
Yeah, Bramble. And so it's a sort of picturesque Christmas inn is the idea. And she goes there. So he goes there trying to investigate and figure out who she is and how she manipulated his dad out of all this money. So that's sort of the premise. And what do we give this one going into it? The preview.
So when we were doing our stocking preview, I should have been calling it that the whole time. You gave it a sock, yes, and I gave it a zesty ring, which is like probably kind of like a ring pop, basically, like better than an orange, but not quite a diamond ring.
Yeah. So because I'm not a big fan of the liar reveal plot. It can be done well. Like I love While You're Sleeping, and that's a total liar reveal plot. But it's usually pretty groan-inducing. Like, how could you lie to me? And I don't know. I'm just not. Everybody has stories and archetypes that they're more fond of than others, and that's just not my favorite. So on the summary, I was not a big fan of it.
No, but as you and I discussed, I am, in fact, a big fan of the Liar Liar Pants on Fire. It's my favorite. Like, if there's like I said, 12th Night is the best. If there was somehow a 12th Night Hallmark movie and Santa Claus was involved, that would be my best movie. The real Santa.
Yeah.
The real Santa.
But I guess maybe I'm a little more forgiving when you're talking about comedy. Like when people are like, how could you lie to me? Like, I don't know. I'm a little bit like,
I mean, I'm pretty sure if I found out someone was lying to me in real life, I'd be like, what? Oh, well. I would just be fine with it.
I don't know. Like especially
I was in the exact same situation as Willa. And this guy's sister came up to me and she was like, we were wondering why you stole from our dad. And he was like, just before I met you, once I met you, I was like, fine. And she was like, what? You never trusted me? But in real life, I would be like, I mean, that makes sense.
Sure. But like, it's particularly in the book, like all of their problems could be solved by like a 3-minute conversation. And in the book, she actually lies to him also because she doesn't tell him that her son was sick. For some reason, she's like keeping that a secret because she I don't know, it's stupid. And so that made it even more, the book more groan worthy is what I'm saying. And so they toned that down and they got rid of that, which was a good move. And, but anyway, I actually did really enjoy this one. I think that any trope or archetype can be good if it's executed well. So I really did like this one. But it is my least favorite of the 4, and that's probably unusual. I feel like most people were saying this was their favorite, but I really did like it. It's in my top 15 of the year. And I thought that it really worked because of the chemistry of the 2 lead actors. And I thought their connection was really strong.
Yeah, Autumn Reeser is basically one of my favorite people on earth. Yeah. I've loved her since the OC. I love him in this movie. Their chemistry was great. The little kid who plays her son is a vision. He was talking to Finn, and Finn was like, is that what you want to be when you grow up? And he was like, oh, and people stopped asking me about it.
Oh, yeah.
I was dead for the rest of the show. Anytime he spoke or anytime anything remotely, I was just gone. Yeah. Honestly, it was like 45 minutes of me just like openly weeping during this entire thing. Oh, it was it was the saddest thing that's ever happened.
That was
he's fine. It's okay now, but oh, my heart just broke. I wanted to find sick kids and just ask them what they want to do when they grow up so they can just like not have to have that not have that in their life.
Him bonding with Finn over the books and stuff and it was really cute and it just worked. And
my favorite person.
Yeah. And so Finn, I really liked that character and I really liked David Hayden Jones. He's been in My Christmas Dream, Brought a Wave, Cookie Cutter Christmas. So he's been in quite a few.
Yeah. And also in Lifetime's Dear Santa, which is one of the best.
Yeah.
One of the best.
I got to see that. I haven't seen it. But it looked really cute.
It has Amy Acker in it. Enough said.
Right. But he's good.
Amy Acker is a vision.
I liked him in this. I thought that he seemed, I don't know, like I felt he seemed like a kind of a normal guy and it made sense why he was doing what he was doing. And I don't know, I was just rooting for him. I liked him. And their chemistry was really good.
Yeah, if they hadn't been so stupid when the lie was revealed, it was
Yeah.
And like, if the lie being revealed is so devastating that you have to leave in the middle of the night
on Christmas
then
Eve,
it shouldn't be able to be solved with one 30-second conversation.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, you should stick around for a 30-second conversation if that's what's going to fix it.
Yeah. Although I did think that was a pretty epic end of the movie kiss. It was really good. I thought.
You and your kisses.
Yeah, I liked it. What can I say? This is my least favorite plot device or whatever, but I love While You're Sleeping. I love it can work, and I think that this did. I really enjoyed it. And like I said, I think it was definitely better than the book. So good job. That's hard to do. To actually improve upon the source material. Because when you have like both of them lying, you're like, oh, too much. So, okay. So this one I have at number 14. And this is an interesting thing about rankings. And so, sometimes you have, you initially have, I think something is better than something else, but then you're ranking a new thing. Like, for instance, okay, so I had, when I did our fall harvest video, I had Harvest Love ahead of Harvest Wedding, right? And, but I felt like the Bramble House Christmas was better than Harvest Love, but I didn't feel like it was better than Harvest Wedding. So therefore, I had to move Harvest Love down. So I have Harvest Love at 15, I have Bramble House Christmas at 14, and I have Harvest Wedding at 13.
I don't want to say that I always had a Harvest Wedding above Harvest Love, but I did. And it's so funny to me, the more Hallmark movies you watch, the more you come around to my opinions.
False. But I do genuinely like all of your picks. I genuinely like. And so, yeah, unfortunately, you don't feel the same way about mine, and that's okay.
But like in 3 years, once you've watched all of them, you'll be like, you know what? Maybe Amber was right. And then the podcast can just be over because then I'll have convinced you and that's all I needed.
Luckily, the Hallmarkies audience as a whole agrees with my picks quite a bit. So that gives me some comfort. They like A Christmas Card and they like A Boyfriend for Christmas and many more of my picks.
I like A Boyfriend for Christmas.
A Crown for Christmas. Many of my picks.
A Boyfriend for Christmas has a 3.8. How dare you? What crowns did you give it?
Oh, right. So I gave it 4 crowns.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also gave it precisely 4 crowns.
Yes. Nice.
I told you agree with me.
Well, yeah, we agree more often than we don't. So it's funny.
We just fight about it, and then we end up in the same place.
Yeah. But so my ranking for this week is I have A Gift to Remember at number 1. Then I have Christmas Homecoming at number 2. I have Coming Home for Christmas at 3. And I have A Bramble House Christmas at 4.
All right. And mine is A Gift to Remember at 1. Coming Home for Christmas at number 2, Bramble House Christmas at 3, and Christmas Homecoming coming in at number 4. But
interesting. Okay.
Like we said, they're all really good.
Yeah, they're all really good. And I would say in our community, it seemed like the Bramble House was the most popular. So that's cool. I can totally see why. A week ahead. So we have, starting tonight, we have With Love Christmas with our Amelia Ullerup. And our Secret Santa, which I don't know why they changed it from Secretly Santa, because that was a much better title than With Love Christmas.
Secretly Santa was my favorite title. It's why it got such a high ranking, and I'm mad about it. And I'll never not be mad.
Weird. But it looks really cute. I'm excited for it. And then on Thursday, Thanksgiving, we have The Mistletoe Inn, which I have to say the preview made me more excited about that than the summary.
Absolutely. So With Love Christmas, we both had given diamond rings in our preview. Yeah. Mistletoe Inn, you gave a sock, and I initially gave it a dusty sock, and then as we were talking, I straight up downgraded it to coal. I think it was my only coal. And then I saw the preview, and wonderful preview of Christmas or whatever with Candace Cameron Bure.
I know.
And I was like, oh no, it's definitely better than a Cole.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited.
Yeah, Alicia Witt looks really at the height of her powers, I think, in this. She wrote it, I guess, too, which is kind of, or is involved in writing it. I believe I heard that, that she wrote it and or that she was involved in writing it, and so anyway. So yeah, the Mistletoe Inn, it looks cute. It looks really cute. So okay, so then on Friday we have Finding Santa, which is our Uber driver Santa story.
Yeah, which you gave a sock and I gave a diamond ring.
Yeah, you're nuts.
And only one of us is going to be right about it. And like I said on the podcast, it's going to be me.
We have the Christmas Train, which I have gotten more excited about the more that I've seen. I read the book, so that helped. I will read the Mistletoe Inn. I'll listen to it tomorrow while I work. And most of these books are like one-day listens. They're like 5 hours on the Audible. So, but anyway, the Christmas Train, and the book was really cute. I really enjoyed it, and I think that and I saw them on Home and Family, and I saw Dermot Mulroney and Kimberly Williams Paisley. They were really good. I know. I just feel like the more I see about it, the more I think it's going to be really cute. And
well, we both gave it oranges, so we were very tempered in our excitement, but we were excited.
Sunday, we have Switch for Christmas, which is our identical twin Candace Cameron Bure story, and her daughter's
obviously we both gave diamond rings.
Yeah.
How could we not?
Right. And I think that's going to be so fun. It's going to be really good. And I mean, this is testing CCB's acting chops. This is going to be her triumph, really. I mean, to play two characters.
This is her campaign to be the Queen of Hallmark.
Yes.
She was like, not only can I headline my own movie, but I can do all the characters myself. One-woman show.
It really will be hard to argue because she has her own detective series. She has a whole series. And she's been in some good ones, and she will play two characters in the same movie. And
she single-handedly brought Full House in syndication to the Hallmark Channel starting New Year's Day.
That will be really cute. And then we have A Joyous Christmas, which they just put out the preview for. And it looks pretty generic, but I'm excited. I'm hopeful that it will be good.
When we did the preview podcast, we gave it socks.
Yeah.
But it got a pair of socks, so it's not running around with one foot open.
Well, I think part of that is because I still don't know these actors that are in it.
Well, one of the guy is Costas from Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Oh, really? That's funny. There we go. That's this week. So it's the pretty epic week of viewing we have ahead of us.
Yeah, and not to mention the fact that there are about 1 billion on the other secret networks. Secret networks being Lifetime, Ion, and Up.
I know. I've got to make sure that I get all those on the DVR. I don't think I even have them all. But
on Sunday alone, people, there are 6 made-for-TV Christmas movies premiering.
All 4 of these movies, they were really fun, really Christmassy, and just really good entertainment. So it's really cool of Hallmark that they make, like I said, 4 movies every weekend, and now we're getting 6 over the next week. So it's going to be fun. We're going to have a great time talking about them next week. So make sure you're following us. Make sure you're following us on Twitter at Hallmarkies Pod, and on Instagram. We post daily on Instagram some of our favorites, and on Facebook as well. We're all over the place. So yeah, please follow us, and please listen to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube, all of that fun stuff. Put in your comments. What did you think of these 4 films? How would you rank them? Please let us know. We'd love to hear your rankings. And so, yeah, you can find me at Smiling LDS Girl on social media, and at Rachel's Reviews on iTunes and YouTube. So check that out. And so, Amber, where can people find you?
As always, you can find me. I'm at Amber Brainwaves on Twitter, and that's it.
Yeah, great. Well, thanks so much, and we will meet again next week.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.